And we are live, according to this thing that I am now looking at. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, okay.
Now, here's my question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there two G shadows in the chat?
Fucking Wi-Fi cut out on me.
Oh no.
How do I delete my clone? How do I delete my dog?
Is that a humane thing to do to delete your clone? I don't know if that's.
There you go. There you go. Be gone, faker.
Ori Sananju. Roan is here. Hi, Roan. How are you?
Oh, nice. I should probably bring up the chat too so I can see it as well.
That might be a good thing. Yeah. And Brainstormer of Pop Culture is also here. And Underworld Dream. Hello, guys. How are you? Good to see you all. Glad you could make it.
Everybody.
Yep.
Peace, motherfuckers.
I'm doing okay. I'm doing pretty good right now. We're going to be celebrating Gundam's 40th year anniversary and talk about the boring shit that was their live stream.
Pretty much, yeah.
So lackluster. Come on, guys. It's 40 years.
I mean,
pull out all the stars. I don't know. Give us fireworks or something.
The reason why it was so lackluster is because everything that was announced, we've known ahead of time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even the project of making a Gundam walk in real life.
Yeah.
We already knew. They've been working on that. When didn't they start that? Like, when was that? I think they announced that about the time when they replaced the RX-78 with the Unicorn.
So about 3 years ago?
Yeah.
2015?
Yeah. That's when they started talking about it.
Yeah.
Finished an MG Stormbringer earlier this week. Fittingly.
Also...
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was looking at Roan's name there. I'm thinking, is that supposed to be an anagram of Aroni Kenshin right there? Roan Harushin?
It could be. I don't know. I never asked.
That would be, if that's the case, that would be nice.
I'd never have bothered to ask him.
Yeah, but yeah, one thing I will say is I do think they also sort of held back on the announcements this year, just because I don't think we've seen everything they're going to have for us.
It's possible. They could be withholding information.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Why would I don't understand is why this is your big franchise. This is the one that makes you the most money.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why would you go all out? Why would you just stick to all the stuff we already known for like months?
Yeah. Well, my guess is that because there weren't really any game announcements either for Gundam. I think that's mostly because the backlash that New Gundam Breaker got for being released 2 or 3 months ahead of time. Let's face it.
Yeah, that is certainly a possibility. Certainly could be a reason why it's like, no, we're going to keep tight-lipped about any other future game projects.
Yeah, I mean, they could bring us Extreme Versus 2, but
yeah, hooray! I guess.
And just something.
Well, I mean, yeah, it would be something. I'm gonna share my screen here a bit so people could probably. Oh God,
it's infinite.
The infinite void. I hope you guys weren't staring. If you blink, you die. But
I looked into the trap ray.
So yeah, we are here to celebrate Gundam's 40th anniversary. Basically.
And it's technically not 40 years yet, but
it's getting there.
Getting there, so might as well, right?
When will it officially be their 40th anniversary?
April 7th.
April 7th?
Yeah, that's when the first show aired.
Okay.
And to be honest, that might be when they actually start announcing the things that we want to see. So
yeah, maybe then we'll get what we want. But there were some announcements. Actually, the one thing I don't understand is like this Gundam Beyond stuff. I don't fully understand what these images are supposed to tell me, or are they just illustrations?
I think they're just illustrations to be all crazy, to be all cool and shit.
I mean, they do look nice. I won't.
In the title Beyond, I don't know the meaning of that. I guess they're trying to go beyond Gundam. because they're trying to make a walking one. I guess they're trying to go beyond anime and into real life or something. I don't know.
Soon there will be colonies in space.
Well, maybe they're going to come out with something new where, who knows? It might be a thing where they say, okay, what comes after these stories? Stuff like that. Maybe that's the beyond.
Could be. Or it could just be very cool promotional art to get people interested.
Yeah, I like the promotional art, though. It's great.
Yeah, it is. I like it.
It is good.
I haven't really taken a nice close look at all of them. We got Gundam Wing. Who is that? Is that Camille in the back?
I think so, yes.
Looks like Camille anyway. With Hero. And the Reconquista one. I'm assuming with... Oh yeah, Gundam. It says The Origin right there. So Reconquista with Gundam The Origin. Okay. It's not bad.
Orphans and Double O.
Yay! It's the metal version of Setsuna. Hooray! Well, he was already a robot.
And you're not wrong.
At least I liked him better than I liked Hiro Yui, though.
Everyone likes other characters more than Hiro Yui. If they're being honest to themselves.
Oh, oops.
Yeah, I thought Mika was a plank of wood, but that's just me.
Who?
Yeah.
The Barbados pilot.
Oh. Yeah, he is kind of a blank of wood. I can admit that.
Yeah, I agree with that too, but in the end, he's still more interesting and has more personality than Hero did.
I guess I can agree with that.
Fair enough. I get it. It's fighting words, but that's just my personal opinion on it.
But, okay. Setsuna meets the moon. Okay. Gundam versus Cthulhu. I think Cthulhu wins.
Yeah, maybe just a bit.
I am Setsuna. Henceforth, I am Gundam. Okay. So long as you are okay with that.
Does that mean I get to pilot him, or... I mean, they've already got joysticks.
And Rabbit is going to have to go into the corner for that one.
Oh, all right.
And I was kidding. Kamen Rider is on its 20th, sort of, too. Yeah. It's kind of a 20th anniversary, but it's not
40, actually.
Well, yeah.
If we're talking Heisei,
there isn't
it's technically 20 years.
And technically there isn't 20 writers either. I counted. I think there's only 19 of them, if you include the new guy. It's like, you guys are one off. Are you one ahead or one behind? I don't know. But I'm trying to think here. Out of all the announcements, which one sounds the most appealing?
Hathaway's Flash.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about. Hathaway's Flash, which does sound really cool. Everyone has been hyping the hell out of that and Crossbone Gundam for me for years, and I still haven't had a chance to read the mangas or whatever novelizations there are of it.
I mean, if they were to have announced Crossbone Gundam, I wouldn't have been happy, considering that Seabook's voice actor died like last month, I think.
Oh no.
I would not have been happy if that was announced, because like,
wait,
why?
Which voice actor, American or Japanese?
Japanese.
Does that mean we'll never get a Crossbone Gundam?
Oh, we'll probably get it. They'll probably get someone to replace them. Replace them like Toei did with Bulma and Super. But yeah, it would be unfortunate timing.
Oh, well then maybe that's the reason why they didn't announce that nature. That would make sense.
With Hathaway's Flash, I think that was definitely a better choice because it takes place earlier. It's pretty much like a sequel to. It's pretty much like a quasi sequel to Shard's Counterattack. Technically, Unicorn is, but this one was like the original sequel. And I mean, I know people don't like Hathaway, but I don't know. We'll probably see how he grows here. Like, I mean, I know everybody hates him. I know everybody thinks he's a little shit, but
all children are little shits. Have they seen Gundam? How many of the Gundam pilots are not little shits?
Well, Domon.
Well, he is the exception.
Maybe Setsuna.
Yeah.
Technically, Domon can't count. He's not a pilot. He's a fighter.
And also, he's also not. How old is Domon? 20. Isn't he like? Yeah, he's not even a kid. He's not even a kid.
he's. I think he's like the only character in at least a main show that started off as an adult.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. Most Gundam main protagonist pilots are kids, and so yeah, they're gonna be little shits.
Yeah, most certainly.
Amuro was a pain in the ass. That's why Bright Slap is a thing.
Yeah, Camille was a pain in the ass.
In his own.
Judo was a pain in the ass for just being a smart ass.
But that's the best part about it. I like Judo that way.
Yeah,
for some reason, Judo is one of my favorite Gundam characters just for his personality, not so much.
Yeah, mine too. He's probably the only thing that kept Double Zeta together.
Yep.
Agreed.
I still need to finish watching Double Zeta.
Just remember, it's not anime.
But going back to Hathaway's Flash, I mean, I already know the story, a bit of the story behind it. I'm really interested to see how it's going to play out in animated form.
Yeah. It'll probably be different than what we got.
I mean, yeah, because Char's counterattack was different from Bella Torchica's children.
But he is no Kira or Shin.
Shin is definitely the worst out of those two.
I think Kira was the worst.
Man, Shin was a whiny bitch just to be a whiny bitch.
Yeah, but Kira was a Gary too. So it was like, pick your poison.
What's worse, the kid who's always wrong or the kid that's always right? Which annoys you more?
I'd say the kid that's always wrong because he never shut the fuck up.
Kid is always right because he's lucky for no fucking reason.
See, it's something that we will all disagree with. Rabbit is the exception to every rule.
I am very crazy. I look at things as different rides all the time.
But will we get kits from Hathaway's Flash? That's a good question.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably.
Because every single time a new series or a new film is released, there's going to be model kits. They release them usually before the show even airs. So, like narrative. Like we already have model kits of that show, of that that movie, not show. It's not a show. And then it's not even out yet.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
go ahead, Rabbit.
I was meaning to ask something because I recently watched all of Gundam Unicorn, the OVAs.
Yeah.
And I know there's also a TV series version of it, but from what I've seen just from browsing, didn't they just take the OVAs and chop them up into small bits?
I think that's basically what it is. Well, then again, no, it ran for 25 episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no way you're able to recycle footage into 25 episodes.
I think they did add stuff to it, but it didn't really add anything that I'm aware of. Because I hadn't finished the OVA, but at least not entirely because I didn't own all of them. But I can now because I can watch it on Netflix. But
I would say stick
to the OVA.
Yeah, the OVA is just better because it actually
better pacing.
It flows better than the 25 episode series that feels like it goes on forever and doesn't stop, and I'm getting bored and I'm falling asleep and
yeah, the OVAs are definitely the way to go with that series. Because I enjoyed it, but I will say I did not like Benager Lynx at all. He irritated me.
I think he irritated everybody, but kid.
I'm neutral to Benager. I don't like him, but I don't hate him.
I don't hate him either. I thought he was all right. I mean, he's always going to have his problems in the beginning. Every Gundam pilot has problems.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, I don't hate the character. He irritated me. That's all there is to it. He irritated me because, I can't shoot this person, even though they're about to kill millions of others.
Well, it's the same thing that Kira did.
Well, here's the thing. He at least shot the gun. You would at least fire.
Banagher has. Well, the thing that I remember with Banagher's at least initial exposure to the Unicorn, and him first using the beam magnum.
Yeah.
He didn't really think of the consequences of actually shooting other pilots.
Also, I don't care what they say. That's not a beam magnum. That's a beam elephant gun.
That thing is insanely powerful.
Yeah. For me, the thing was him feeling gun shy after the fact of killing people. It felt very similar to like what happened with like Amuro, because Amuro went through that type of PTSD stuff. Was like, I killed people? No, it's not possible. It's like, who did you think was piloting the suits?
Yeah.
Yes, there are human beings inside there, young man.
Oh yeah, and I agree with your statement on that. The only difference between Banagher and every other Gundam pilot in any other series that's had that issue, the other Gundam pilots, when they realized, oh yeah, could save one person by not shooting them, or we can save millions by shooting this one person, they went, oh, it's time to man up.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you right now, Keo.
The thing with Banagher, I think that irritated me the most was when Minerva revealed herself, and it's like, no, you're Audrey. It's like, Banagher, stop being a dumbass.
Why are you being okay? Now you're just now you're just being retarded on purpose, my dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like.
What really gets me about the beginning is Banagher barely knew this woman for like what, an hour, and he was like madly in love with her for no fucking reason,
and wants to protect her.
That's one of the big issues I have with Unicorn. The fact that Banagher was so quick to defend her royal ass.
Yeah.
When he barely knows anything about her. And I do like how she shuts him up and like basically tells him to fuck off.
Yeah.
It's like, shut up, Banagher. The only sane person in this entire show is her. Well, with the exception of maybe a few of the other side characters. But she's the only main. Well, yeah, it's Bright.
Yeah.
He's the only one who matters.
You're not wrong.
Hello, Tellium. How are you?
Good,
because we're drowning in unicorns. Yeah, there's way too. I thought unicorns were supposed to be rare. We're getting way too much unicorn.
I think my problem with ever since Unicorn, they've been really heavy focused on this post CCA stuff. Because you got Gundam Narrative, you got Hathaway's Flash, you got what was that one with that stupid fusion of the Alex and the Gundam Mark II?
Oh yeah,
Twilight Axis, I think.
Yeah,
it's called.
Twilight Axis.
Like everything's all of a sudden starting to become post Char's Counterattack. I'm like, what is this with a sudden fascination with making sequels to Char's Counterattack?
I think it might have something to do with the fact that they don't really have much they can do before anymore. But also, I do think what they need to do is, instead of making all these new things, just give us what we're getting right now, the one little thing we're getting right now with Hathaway, and then go to Crossbone and Gundam X and all that stuff.
Why not give us a OVA version of Gundam Sentinel?
Fair enough. But I mean, just it's time they start focusing on some of the other universes they made, because the Universal Century is being beaten like a dead horse now.
Yeah, unfortunately. And
I think this is because of the result of the pop of the recent AU stuff not doing so well. Because when you look at the past few years, Gundam Age, financial disaster in Japan. G-Rico didn't really do so hot. IBO, I think, didn't really do so hot either.
It did better than those two, but still not.
It did, but it was still pretty lackluster.
Yeah,
I mean, if they wanted to like do something like maybe re-explore Gundam Seed, I mean, since
Make
Gundam
it better, I guess.
Yeah, you could try that, or just make new side stories within the universe. That would work too.
Or better yet, give us that give us an OVA of that sequel manga to G Gundam where we get the kangaroo piloting the mobile suit. I'd pay money to see that, because that would be hilarious.
Yeah, maybe re-explore. Well, I don't know if anybody would want to re-explore Gundam Wing's universe.
No,
maybe.
They sort of wrapped that up.
Well, they tried. They did that one. There was that stupid fan fiction-y type story that they did called Frozen Teardrop, and I was like, "What the freaking hell is this shit?" And that pretty much tapped me out. I'm like, "Nope, No, thanks. I'll pass. And it was funny when I saw the special collector's edition for Gundam Wing on DVD came out, and that was in there, and I'm like, who asked for that? What?
Yeah.
No, we don't want Raylena to come back from frozen in carbonite bullshit, and all of a sudden she's evil. And then all these other characters are just cut and paste copies of their parents. It's like, oh, here's a Ketra, here's a Duo, but they're not Ketra and Duo, are they? Or Troa, or Hero. They're the copies, and make it a Cinderella story. Who wrote this fan fiction?
I believe the website is called Tumblr. But
let's not get into that.
Yeah, the whole reason they can't really do anything else with Wing is because what they said at the end of Gundam Wing and Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, which is they state flat out that mobile suits and Gundams were never seen again. So
yeah, the only excuse they can make was to imagine a new conflict.
And even then, it'd have to be standard ground warfare without mobile suits.
And the thing is that with like Gundam Double O, I don't even think they needed the awakening of the Trailblazer. That was a stupid idea, because for the most part, seasons 1 and 2 were just fine as they were.
They're fine. I mean, but I guess Well, they wanted to milk out Double O even more. So
yeah. I mean, I enjoy Gundam Double O, but that's myself. There's dissenting opinions,
but the movie is just
the movie itself is
not really that good.
Really dumb idea. I was like, aliens? You could have brought aliens in. This could have been interesting, but from what I've understood of the movie, not very good movie.
No, it really isn't.
And no, but I mean, they are celebrating their 20th anniversary with a stage play of all things. But okay, weirdest decision. But I am curious to see what might happen. It's like, how are you going to pull this off? I'm very curious.
This is gonna I don't really give much of a shit about this, since it's just throwaway stuff. It's just there to entertain the audience. That's basically it.
Yeah.
And Omnitron is here. Hooray!
Yeah, and I actually understand what you all are saying about Double O, which is the series seems good. It seems like it's trying to capture the magic that was the original Gundam Wings story. But they are sort of missing the mark from what I've seen so far.
Season 1 was good. Season 2, they kind of dropped the ball.
Yeah,
that's basically how I saw it. Because season 1, great ideas. Season 2, they just resorted to the same old song and dance we've been doing for about 30 years at that point.
Yeah, I could agree to that, because I loved how season 1 concluded. It was probably a very good ending too.
But then with season 2, you basically get this Titans style group.
A-Laws.
Yeah, and they become corrupt. I think that's what happened. They just became your stereotypical faction versus faction stuff we've been seeing for over 30 years.
Yeah. The armed intervention stuff is gone. Because Celestial Being's job was finished after season 1. Their main objective and purpose was over. I don't know why doing a season 2 is a financially smart decision, but
they did it because you couldn't just end off with. There is no way you're going to end a series with a cliffhanger showing off the main gun of the fucking series. That's a death wish for Sunrise.
Yeah. Yeah. Need someone to talk about the epicness that is the 8th MS team. I'm here.
Well, that's a great OVA.
Yes, it is. In fact, I actually have the collector's version of it. 1 second.
But I don't think it's the best show ever in the franchise. Because it does have problems. The Romeo and Juliet romance, pretty cliche. I don't like how it ended.
Yeah, it kind of ended well.
Because
if you can include,
you only focus on like a few of the characters, then focus on what happened to everybody else.
Yeah, they're more interested in Shiro and Aina.
I mean, Yeah, and that's basically those are the only problems I had with the series. Other than that, it's a fucking amazing series.
Yeah. It's my personal favorite.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of people's personal favorite just because it's flat
really
out well written.
It's well written. It's aged very well. The animation is still amazing.
Yeah.
Arguably almost as good as, I dare say, Turn A.
I still need to watch Turn A.
And Turn A had pretty awesome animation.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Turn A is sort of the whole reason why we don't really need to worry about any more Universal Century stuff, because we know what happens to them all in the end.
But from my understanding, Tomino, I think he says something about how it takes place, how G Rico takes place after Turn A. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I don't know if I should take Tomino at his word, or if he's
if the
old now.
That almost sounds like Tomino.
This is the guy that said that Attack on Titan is like porn.
Murder porn?
Yeah, I think that's what. And he also said video games are a waste of time, even though, okay, Mr. Anime Maker, anime is a waste of time.
The same argument can be applied to you.
Like, I love the man, but trust me, I don't agree with him on everything. I think he does get batshit insane. Garzy's Wing is a big example of that.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to say brain powered.
Oh no, Garzy's Wing is worse.
Fair enough.
That's bad. That's bad. Gundam The Origin getting edited into a TV series. Thoughts?
Bad idea?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't like that idea. I like having this as the film adaptation. Sounds fine to me.
I mean,
you're doing the same with Gundam Thunderbolt. Why ruin a good thing?
I mean, Gundam Thunderbolt, I think workflows better as movies.
Yeah.
Origin, not so much, because there's like time skips in each episode, from what I understand. I haven't seen all of The Origin, but I do know quite enough to understand it.
Yeah, from what I understand, there's still one more, The Origin.
Yeah, that's supposed to be the one that introduces the Gundam, I think.
Yeah. And I will say this, if there's one thing that The Origin did for me, it made me hate Char even more.
What?
I always thought Char
in The Origin.
The Origin made you hate him more?
Char has always been a dick. Let's be real.
I mean, the way he got his name was there was someone who looked almost identical to him, but with brown eyes, who was named Char Aznable. And since they were so identical, they hung out together. And when it came time of, okay, someone's about to assassinate me. Oh, well, I forgot my ticket, but you're really wanting to go onto this. Here, take my luggage stuff. Go ahead and get on there. I'll pick up my luggage whenever I get there. So he sends this other guy out to die, blows him up essentially, and then steals his name.
I mean, that is a clever idea, though.
It is, but he's a dick.
Char has never been a good guy.
No, he never has been.
I mean,
but
it's a very Char thing to do. Yeah.
I mean, he's not good. I mean, he doesn't give a shit about the zombie family at all, because they killed his father.
Yeah.
He's on a quest for revenge. Do you really think that he's going to play nice?
No, it's just that move was one dick move too far.
You could tell, like, from very early on that he was a very angry young man, and that he was probably going to be killing people and be a sneaky, underhanded asshole.
Yeah.
That's why so many people like him as a character.
Yeah, which, not gonna lie, I do find a little weird that some people actually say that Char is right. I'm thinking, looking at his actions.
I mean,
depends on what actions you're
in a sense that humanity does damage the Earth, but I don't think your solution is to drop a fucking rock on it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
yeah, I think that Char's counterattack kind of, in a sense, ruined his character, because he went from having a very...
Here's the thing, I love that film. I love that film.
Yeah.
And
I do too.
As I said in my review, in a weird way, his reasons make sense. It's just his way of going about them is just batshit insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Solid reasoning, poor execution.
Yeah, his reasoning does make sense, but at the same time, you don't need a final solution for every reason.
Yeah, that was just the downside to Counterattack. Is like Char's character development through 2 subsequent series. Yep, no, let's just throw that out the window. Now he's nuts.
I think, and there was, I mean, some people do have a problem with him changing his opinion after Zeta Gundam, like, fuck humanity. And I'm like, well, that's a pretty long time, because, I mean,
it has been a while. And maybe all that time stuck in outer space by himself.
Yeah, it would have made sense for Char to change his opinion, to change his mind on stuff.
Yeah. Especially if he saw things escalate and get worse.
Man, I did see an interesting cutscene in an old PlayStation Gundam game where it's revealed that Char changed his mind after Camille's got mind fucked by Shirako.
Yeah. Well, everyone thought that he was gone anyway. No one thought that Quattro was still alive, or Char, or whatever you want to call him. But I mean, who knows? Who knows how long he was out in the vacuum of space in a damaged mobile suit? Maybe that's what made him go crazy.
He pretty much went in hiding, much like he did when he got in trouble for letting Garma got killed.
Yeah.
And he just waited for Haman. And he just waited for Haman to die, and it's like, all right, time for me to take over.
Yeah.
Medeva's too young to rule, so I'm taking over, bitches.
Fair enough. Also, speaking of Char. Sorry, my throat is just gone. But yeah, one thing I've always wondered is because they didn't really. Okay, I'm going to get to slight spoiler territory here, so this is your spoiler warning now. In Gundam Unicorn, they never fully explained if Full Frontal was just a Char clone with Char's memories, or if it was actually Char.
I mean, with Full Frontal, he's actually quite fascinating because you really don't know what he is. Is he like a clone? Is he like some kind of strange incarnation that was conceived by the rainbow in space? From when I was I'm referring to. Like, you don't really know. And in a way, I think that's what actually strengthens him, because like, I want to know about this guy.
Yeah, it does add a bit more mystery to him.
He's interesting. It's mysterious, and I like it.
Yeah. It brings that mystique back to the Char clones that so many of them lack in. But the thing with him for me is like, I already know that Char and Amuro are dead. At least as far as anyone is concerned, they died at the end of Counterattack. And whoever the hell Frontal is, he's not the original. He can claim to be the original if he wants, but he's not.
That was actually his whole character arc. Like,
yeah,
he was hiding under the fame of Char Aznable, but he's not Char. And his problem was he never tries to come to his own. He always wants to hide under the mask.
Yeah.
And that's why it was a little confusing to me, the thing of, is he actually a clone? I mean, a literal clone of Char's DNA, because let's face it, they probably have that technology in the Universal Century.
Yeah, with the Peru clones.
They did it in Double Zeta.
Right.
Why not? Why wouldn't they do that with...
it would have made sense. Yeah, it would have made sense if they were to somehow clone Char.
As far as we know, he's not a new type, or what is the other type? Cyber.
I think I remember Char also had a relationship with an underage girl. I think he's probably talking about either Quest or Haman in Char's...
Both?
What was it called? Char's Dilemma? Char's Deleted Affair. That's what it's called.
Well, he had a relationship with Haman because they talked about it in Zeta. She was younger than he was. But also, yes, with Quest as well. I don't know. Does Lala count? Because I don't even know how old Lala even was.
I think Lala was the same age.
Yeah,
she was around the same age.
Yeah, I think she was
well, we know that Amuro has we do know that Amuro had a thing for older women, so...
Okay, she was 17, so she was 1 year older than him.
Okay, makes sense. But yeah, I do think that
Char at the time of the original was 20. That's actually an underrated relationship.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think though that Full Frontal might have been an actual clone just implanted with Char's memories.
He doesn't behave as if he has Char's memories.
Well, there's a lot of things he says that only Char would know of.
Or anybody who would be close enough to Char would know.
And I'm just going off a theory here, but in the end, I think we all agree Full Frontal is a dumb name.
So is Panage Lynx. So is Gim Gingham. So is Alleluia Haptism. So is Tuesday Buzzkirk.
Fair.
There's a lot of dumb names.
Fair. But at the same time, Full Frontal just sort of took the cake for me.
Crockett.
I expected a dong to be painted on his mobile suit just flapping in the wind.
Ellen B. Beardsley.
If you want to talk, well, I think the worst character. What was the guy from the name of the mask guy from F91? Wasn't his name just
Iron Mask?
Yeah, that's even more on the nose.
No, the worst name in Gundam is either they're both from Age. It's either Urine or Natora Anus.
Yeah, those are pretty bad names too. It's like that's a captain's name too, and I'm like, oh, you poor child. The jokes, so disappointing. Anyway, but
let's talk about that grand one. Let's talk about that legendary Gundam film.
We know nothing.
We know it's in development.
We know it's in development.
Well, okay, I think I can break down some of the stuff that I do know, because one of the things that people were concerned with was the fact that you're letting a Western property be in control of a Japanese product, and we know how well that's worked.
The thing is, with Legendary, they at least done it more faithfully.
Yeah,
because with Godzilla,
with Godzilla,
actually a pretty surprisingly well-made movie for what it was.
Yeah. Well, I was going to point out that in order to calm people's fears and whatnot, it was announced that they would be working in connection with Sunrise themselves.
Yep.
So we wouldn't have any of the. We won't have any other. So we won't have any of the retarded nonsense in G Savior.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Warner Brothers was also working with Sunrise, and that brought about G Savior.
I mean, I'm kind of skeptical because the first time they did this, it was an absolute horror show.
Yeah.
But it is being made by a competent company.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna go and see if I can find any information on this.
All right.
We can only speculate since there's so little we know about it. But I'm going to assume that it's going to be it's going to be a remake of the original.
It might.
That may be the safest choice, since Godzilla is pretty much supposed to be a remake of the 1954 version.
True, though I do think that if they're going to remake the original, they're going to need to do more than just one movie. They need to chop it up into at least 5. So personally, I think the best bet, as much as some people will disagree with me, 0080 War in the Pocket would be the best bet for a live-action adaptation.
But that's pretty well it's pretty underutilized at this point, though.
Yeah,
I mean, you barely hear about it. The only thing that's really significant to non-Gundam fans would be the fact that in Japan, Chris's voice actress was Megumi Hayashibara. You may know her from a lot of shit.
Oh. Legendary's been doing a lot of good stuff. It's like not only do they got Godzilla, there's also Skyscraper and also Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
Oh god. I saw that trailer creeping the fuck out.
I have heard that it has made people uncomfortable. The
Uncanny Valley stuff is there for a lot of people, but I like it.
The only one that creeped me out would be Mr. Mime. That was the only one that made me unsettled.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, for some of the others, I was like, I'm okay with it. It's kind of what I would expect if you were to make a live action version of a Pokemon. Charizard being extra scaly and looking more vicious and evil. A Pikachu
looks like a frog.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have hope because Legendary does have some quality films behind it.
Yeah.
The Batman trilogy, Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Jurassic World.
Yeah, the resume is good. That's, I think, the best way to describe it. The resume is good. We'll have to wait and see if there's more. Wait till more information comes out, obviously. And stay tuned to this channel for that news and information. No.
And then we find out a few days later, oh, the Legendary movie is called G-Savior Redone.
Oh, boy.
Hooray! It's what we all wanted. Hooray! We can all die happy now.
Yep.
No. But what kind of? Yeah, well, considering that the logo just had a G in it, at least currently.
Maybe it's G Gundam.
Pretty bad choice.
That would not be a good choice.
That would not
it
be
wouldn't be the most. It wouldn't be the most prime choice.
No, but it would be hilarious.
Agreed. I'd still go and watch it. But
the safest choice would, at least for America, would probably be Gundam Wing.
Yeah.
But, you know, I didn't really care for that show.
Well, it's a
decent show, but
yeah. That's the thing, though, isn't it? It's like that was the show that a lot of us started watching Gundam with. So it's like, would they bring Gundam Wing back for a live action movie adaptation? I think it could work if enough people were nostalgic enough for it. A live action adaptation of it could potentially work, but
I would say the safest choice would probably be remaking the original.
Yeah,
but you have Origin going on, so it would be weird to have two reimaginings going on at the same time.
Yeah,
or they could just make their own thing. I guess
they could make their own thing.
Yeah, completely original.
The Godzilla film tried its own thing.
Yeah, to middling success. The only problem was not enough monster. It's like, this is a kaiju film, guys. We want to see the monsters fight, not whatever else is going on.
To be fair, the 1954 version didn't really show him a whole lot either, but that was the first time seeing him.
And it's also budget limitation.
Right, because we're comparing a film that came out in 2014 to a film that came out 60 years ago.
Yeah,
like
we have to have different standards. Because I mean, if you were here's like with like the Star Wars franchise and whatnot, the reason why a lot of the effects for Star Wars are in the older films were so good and why so many people loved them is because they had to use it less. They had so much limitation with the technology they were working with, so they had to create more compelling and interesting characters to work around the limitations they had.
And then George Lucas decides to fuck it up year after year after year after year. The Blu-ray versions are easily the worst because of it features some of the worst changes in the history of the franchise. And Kenobi's scream, anybody? Like that scream in the Blu-ray version was so embarrassing. I thought it must have been a joke. George Lucas is clearly doing this to fuck with us at this point.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, also, Wolf, one thing I was going to say is, you said if enough people are nostalgic for Wing, have you met the internet?
Oh, believe you me, I understand that quite well, considering that companies have been using, my nostalgia to try and get me to watch crap. So I'm fully aware of this. That's, oh my God. So many things have come back, and I'm like, I wish that they didn't come back.
Yeah.
It's like, I know you guys have the license and property, but if you're going to do it, just make something new. I'd prefer it because you guys suck at remaking shit.
Agreed. People need to stop doing reboots and they need to start focusing on, okay.
I mean, just this year, there's apparently rumors that Dan Aykroyd was going to do Ghostbusters 3. I'm like, I just stopped.
Yeah. I get that he wanted to do it. I get he wanted to do it to fix Ghostbusters, but after that last Sony movie, it's over. Yeah.
The new Ghostbusters reboot is awful. Just give it a rest.
Let it go, guys. Let it die.
Yeah, well, we already had Ghostbusters 3 anyhow. The video game.
Yeah. I think that I remember one of my friends was talking about it, and he said that they could try and do something like Ghostbusters Extreme or something to that nature. That could potentially work, but the damage has, in a sense, already been done. So I don't know if you can salvage it at this point. It's really with the current, the way that, the internet works and how,
they
quickly, not only do they never forget, but how quickly they are to tear something apart. Even because, it used to be like first impressions are important, but nowadays first impressions is like, no, if you get this wrong, you are in big ass trouble. You are lucky if it even makes it through its first season before someone has already ripped it apart, reassembled it, and then prepared to flush it down the toilet. Because that's what's happened like every single time. Terrible first impressions, and everybody's out. Or if they are in, they're in to tear it apart.
Yeah,
that's the only reason.
Yeah, I agree. And it's because a lot of people out there can't turn off their brains for a few moments and go, okay, is this here to just be a fun popcorn movie? Or is it here to be intelligent? Or is it actually crap?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's always subjectivity is a thing with art. Some people are going to like different things. That's just how things are. But still, I mean, the best examples I could think of for like first impressions, just from like this year alone, Titans, terrible first impression. Even with like screenshots and when I was like, okay, we're concerned. This isn't looking good. Trailer even does not help. It makes it worse. Thundercats Roars, initial impressions. D-Ra. I tell me when to stop. Because it keeps happening. It's like, these are your first impressions, guys. You're supposed to try and endear yourself to the audience in some way, especially if you're going for that good old-fashioned nostalgia. Hi, Turtle Time. I see you.
And with a lot of these things that they're making their bad first impressions with, it's a thing of a lot of stuff we don't have. I'm like the most recent thing that came out, that She-Ra thing. Yeah. We don't care about the gay overtones because He-Man and She-Ra was an orchestra of gay. But we at least demand good writing.
Yes. And good character design would be also a huge bonus.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's like the She-Ra one doesn't piss me off nearly as much because I'm not as invested in that. The Thundercat one was what pissed me off. I'm like, what the freaking hell is this shit?
Yeah, what did they do to Chitara?
If you haven't... Oh, yeah. No, just in general, just everything. The whole thing pissed me off. I'm like, so basically you took the concept of Teen Titans Go and hit it over with a stick to make it even worse. Good job. That makes me so invested.
So you're saying they hit it with the ugly tree. Gotcha.
5 trees. 5 whole trees that are very ugly.
That's a lot of ugly.
Because here's the thing. I don't like Teen Titans Go very much, but when I have watched it, I'm like, I could see why people might find this charming and entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of it, but I could see why others might be.
Yeah, it's a show for what, 5-year-olds?
Probably. But I mean, there are some references to the show and whatnot, and episodes and whatnot that I'm like, that's not bad. That's a good reference. That's okay.
Yeah, it's only whenever they start shooting fans that used to like the original version that it goes overboard. It's thing of, guys, you don't shit on your fans.
Yeah, if you knew that, that's the thing, though. That's what they all do. And I think that a lot of companies have chosen to do that because they know it gets them attention.
Yep.
And due to the fact that the internet is not going to starve them out of this attention, they're going to just, keep on doing it.
Yeah,
That's
this is
going to be
why
a vicious cycle.
And that's why it's the thing of we just got to vote with, do I watch it or do I not watch it? I'm not interested. I won't watch it.
The thing with I've seen reboots and reimagines work much better than this, and it's like we had Voltron. Why isn't this She-Ra cartoon closer to Voltron? I mean, bringing it back, good idea maybe, but you could have done Voltron. Hire that studio to draw the characters. They could have done a better job.
Well, you see, Wolf. It's because the show is not made for you. It was made for other people. That's basically what most people will say.
Yeah, that's the excuse, isn't it? I understand.
I missed that. Sorry, what was that?
It's the argument. It's not for you. It's for other people.
I'm sorry, but if you're rebooting something, then you're pandering to both the old and new alike.
You need to pander to your old audience for it to work.
Yeah,
that's the only way. This shit with Ghostbusters, and look how well that turned out. All the old fans. They try to get new people into it, but with a concept as dated as Ghostbusters, it's very hard to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
We're getting back on topic.
Yeah, we should really get back on topic. That is a good idea.
Sorry for the derailment.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the shows themselves. Like, what is your favorite shows after 40 years of this shit?
Well, we can't say 8th MS Team because that's cheating.
I mean, besides that, because we all know Wolf's favorite is the 8th MS Team.
Yeah.
It's for the two top spots. It's a fight between 8th MS Team and Zeta.
Mine's between the original and Zeta, actually.
Yeah, I could get that. I like the original too. Most of the Universal Century stuff I really like, depending.
There's only a few I deem to be bad, or at least subpar.
Yeah,
Double Zeta. I'm looking at you.
I can agree with that. It has such a weird starting point from what I actually was able to watch. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on.
And F91 was just a mess.
Yeah,
it was too fast.
It was a mess.
It was too fast. You could barely connect with the characters.
It makes me wish that it actually got the series that it should have gotten.
Victory is like a mixed bag. Some people love that. Some people hate it.
Yeah, I think the main thing
it has problems. That fucking baby that cries every episode was a big problem.
What are we talking about?
Victory Gundam.
I've not watched any of Victory except for I know that it has a higher kill count than Zeta. It's the only part that I know.
I have, and it's not bad, but holy shit. I mean, if you're into babies crying for like every single fucking episode,
yeah,
it's an endurance test.
Yeah, it might be a turnoff for some.
Yeah, like that's probably the only reason why I wouldn't want to go back to Victory as much, because that fucking baby cries every single episode he's in.
Yeah, that could be understandable.
Yeah. Now, back to each of our favorite ones, though, since you two went, I have to say that my personal favorite one, aside from 8th MS Team, because again, that's cheating. Everyone loves that one. G Gundam. It's the one I started off with, and it's the one that's been my favorite ever since.
G Gundam's good. It's a very good show. I know there are some problems with it.
Oh, yeah.
My one downside to it doesn't feel very much like a Gundam show.
I mean, I think that was the idea.
That was
trying something different, because after countless Universal Century shows, they're like, you know what? Let's try putting Gundam into a different setting.
Yeah, they went to have fun with it, so they were allowed to be more creative.
Yeah,
and it worked for the time. They had moderate success.
Yep. People like it, so
that's very thanks to Super Robot Master Imagawa himself.
And you know what? I still want my Gunpla kit of the Dark Colony.
I mean, you're finally getting G Gundam in T.
Yeah.
So that's something to look forward to.
Oh, most certainly. Same with Magic Knight Raver. That makes me even happier because that show rarely gets talked about anymore.
What are we talking? Which?
Ray Earth was a show created by Clamp. It had mechs in it.
No,
The
I was
prime
talking
never-
about the other G Gundam thing.
Oh.
What was that?
G Gundams and T. Super Robot Wars T.
Oh, okay.
First time in like 10 years.
Yeah, right. We were talking about that before the stream, and I forgot.
Exactly.
Okay. Sorry.
And I know everybody will probably point to Gundam Wing as their favorite. I'm like, as a aged well.
Yeah, it's an okay show. It's not the greatest, but it's a good show.
I don't like the main characters.
Yeah, the only characters I like from Wing are Duo and Miliardo. That's it.
They're too one-dimensional. The only one I actually liked was Duo, and that was about it.
But that's because he's such a charming fellow. I used to like Troa, but Troa's pretty bland.
He was about as boring as Hero. I mean, they're basically the same character.
Pretty much, yeah. I liked Troa's mobile suit more than I guess I liked him. I liked Heavy.
It was the Gundam Day. It was the Gundam Day pilot. There was literally nothing different about him. I mean, Troa does have that one arc where he loses his memory and he actually acts like a human being for once, but that didn't really last very long.
Wu Fei was a pretty cool character.
Yeah.
Too bad he became a dumbass and in this waltz.
True.
Yeah.
But probably to be expected because he was always a dumbass.
I don't want that.
He was considering that his personality quirk is I'm the angry one. I go off half cocked and do stupid shit. It's kind of his personality. So
like having a chance to kill Trays, but because he's so like all about honor and shit, he's like fuck this shit and just bails out.
It's like
and he wouldn't end up killing him until literally at the end of the fucking series.
Yep.
Yeah. Miliardo was my favorite character from Wing. Overall.
I mean, everybody likes Sex, but thing is, he's basically Char's life in Universal Century.
Yeah.
Like his entire character arc mirrors that of Char's. He starts off as a soldier for Trays, just much like how Char started off as a soldier for the zombie family. He then moves on to breaking apart from Trays and do his own thing, like how Quattro started the AUG. Well, he didn't start the AUG; he was a member of the AUG, and then he goes back to being villain, like Char did in Char's counterattack.
He becomes more genocidal at nearing the end of Wing's run. Although he did also then do another 180 and Endless Waltz, and he's back to normal.
We still don't know how the fuck he survived.
Who knows?
How the fuck he survived? Like seriously, how?
That's an excellent question.
And he felt so useless in that it felt like he was just planted into this waltz for fan service because he literally no interactions with Relina, his sister.
Yeah.
The only interaction he ever get was with Noin and the Wing boys that weren't Hero. Like, what was the point of him? What was the point of him coming back? To show off the Tall Geese 3? Where did that thing come from? How did that thing get built? Did Trays knew Zex was going to be alive, and so he built this thing? Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. I'm not going to complain because I like the Tall Geese 3, so I'm not going to complain about it.
Endless Waltz is a mess. I can talk about it for a while.
Yeah.
And G Shadow, I'll tell you where the Tall Geese 3 came from. See, when a mommy Leo and a daddy Leo love each other very much, they get together and make a wonderful machine.
For me, it's like I out of all the different variants that the Tall Geese has had, I do like 3 the most. I just like its design,
except for maybe the spiked headpiece.
I like the head.
I think I'm thinking of 2. My bad.
2 has a spiked like night crest.
Okay.
Or one that has like separated like points.
All I know is that one looks like it has a rocker's mohawk, which is cool, but feels a little off to me.
That would be Tall Geese 2, probably.
Gotcha.
And that was... Oh, what was that? That was Trace's Tall Geese. I don't think that Miliardo ever piloted Tolgi's 2, did he?
I honestly don't know.
I can't remember.
tell
My
you.
memory does not serve me well at this
It
point.
doesn't. We're talking Tallgeese 2 here?
Yeah.
That was exclusively for Trays.
Yeah, that's what
gotcha.
I thought. It's the one that had the blue and
The only difference between that and Zex's Tallgeese was it's colored blue and the head's different.
yeah.
Bada-bee-bada-bye.
And they're pretty much the same suit. They
Yeah, the
didn't
exact
change
same
that
unit.
much. Just modified differently to look different. Tolgi's 3 is at least an upgrade.
Too bad a model kit. We basically recycled the Tallgeese 2 parts. We don't
Yeah.
talk about that.
The high grade kit is not very good. I own it and I'm not hugely fond of it. I wish that we had a re-release of the kit. I mean, with high grade versions of Leo now, why do I not have a high grade Tolgies? Where's my high grade? There's a real grade. Where's my high grade?
Well,
I don't really care that much for real grades. Real grades, they cost more and they tend to fall apart easier. They're not built very sturdily. I should know because I have a real grade version of the Freedom, and that thing falls apart like you would not believe. The mechanics in it are trash. Try and separate its like the twin rifles on the back. Try and get the wings to cooperate to do that. I dare someone to do that because I guarantee you some of those parts are going to fall off.
Yeah, I like the idea of real grades, but in the end, I think real grades they need a little more work in how they're made before they got shipped out.
Well, with the earlier ones, it was probably a bigger problem than what they're doing with newer ones, but I would much prefer to have high grades than real grades because you're sacrificing stability of the kit for more articulation. But high grade kits nowadays have so much really good articulation already. There's really no point in having real grades around. I don't see the reason.
I think the reason.
I mean, you're taking. The inner frames to the high grades are just a master grade inner frame shrunk down.
I know.
With less stability.
I'm just saying some people like building the frames. That's all there is to it.
So
maybe that's it.
So Gundam X.
Yes.
What about Gundam X? Another one that I have not watched.
Okay. Well,
it's another one I've missed out on.
I'm the only one I've watched it. I thought that show was really good. Like that's probably my top 5. Because it does, it's so different from the others. I mean, it has the closest ties to Universal Century, and I really dig the characters a lot. My only problem was it had a lot of similar issues to Wing. Yeah. The art style is basically the same, and I think it's by the director was the same guy who directed the latter half of Wing, which makes me wonder why he wasn't doing this with Wing.
Yeah, good question.
And overall, I just like the Double X design better than Wing Zero.
Well, it depends. Which Wing Zero are we referring to? Because the
TV version.
I prefer the TV version over the movie version. The Endless Waltz one can get shot into space.
I find EW version it's too like.
I don't like
gaudy
the wings.
I think that's the term.
Yeah, you're trying too hard.
Yeah, but then again, Endless Waltz.
I mean, they did it with
the reason why the designs were that way was because Bandai wanted to sell model kits. I mean, that's why they were all designed to look cooler and more sleeker than they were in the TV show.
Yeah, I mean, Death Scythe Hell's version for the movie looks.
That actually looks pretty cool. That's probably my favorite design.
That was the part of it that I was okay with because it's like the mobile suit is literally called Death Scythe Hell. So it having wings and looking more demonic makes sense. Wing Zero is just the word wing and zero. What does Angel Wings have to do with the goddamn wing?
I mean, because wings. And angels
Wings.
are cool, I guess. And Final Fantasy VII.
It's an angel.
Yeah, that was around the time that Final Fantasy VII came out, wasn't it?
But the biggest problem with those redesigns is they kind of nerfed all 5 of them to an extent.
Yeah.
Wing Zero can't transform. Death Scythe doesn't have his Buster Shield. Sand Rock doesn't have his machine gun. Heavy Arms doesn't have the combat knife. Ultron doesn't have its flamethrowers.
Yep.
Or its tail gun.
Yeah. And Wing Zero also does not have.
Wing Zero's the only one that, I mean, yes, it can't transform, but it's the only one that actually pretty much about the same as the regular one.
Yeah. I think the one exception is that it took. Well, aside from taking the transformation, its Buster Rifle makes even less sense than its other counterparts. Because its Buster Rifle, at least kind of, considering its bulk and size, you could believe that there was some sort of energy capacitor inside it. Designed to, fire out massive beams, but with the sports version, I can't buy it. The rifle's too small. I'm like, where's that energy output coming from? I'd like to know. Actually, I think a lot of people wanted to know that question. It's like, where is all that energy coming from?
Here's the real question. Do we really want them to try to answer it? Because it'll just make it worse.
At least Katoki Hajime's design of the Wing Gundam kind of made more sense than Local Wars.
Yeah. I liked some of the other variants that they've shown for both Wing and Wing Zero for like model kit versions and whatnot. That they still call it the Endless Waltz variants, but it's the Wing Zero without the frickin' wings, and it looks more like the anime version. Just updated. I like that one better. It looks nicer. Makes better sense. That's just me personally.
Can we talk about the wonder that is Gundam Seed?
Prepare for conflicting opinions?
Yeah.
Because I know Rabbit likes Seed. He likes less. I know that.
Yeah, let me put my thoughts on it real quick, just because I know everyone else hates it. My thought is Gundam Seed, the original, not Destiny, the original, did the job it intended to do. It made it to where people got more interested in Gundam again because it was trying to be a remake of the original Gundam, but with a few other things tied in. And yeah, Seed, it was just a horrible mess because, the main person who was making it, diagnosed with cancer, was dying, and was also forced to write not only Gundam Seed Destiny, but the Gundam Seed movies and Double O at the same time. So attention was completely split.
Yeah.
Which made it to where that was just a horrible, shambled mess with Seed Destiny. I will always say I like the designs of Seed and Seed Destiny. That's good. Same with the music. But the only Seed saga I like is the original Seed, and it's thing of it's good, not great. It's just there. It's a thing of if you want to get into it and you've never watched Gundam, you'll probably get some enjoyment out of it. But if you're a diehard Gundam fan, skip it.
Yeah.
My thing with Seed, it's okay. Not awful. It's not a horrible show, but it has its problems.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest one being how it portrayed war as good versus evil, which is not how real wars are at all.
No.
Stock footage, which is almost as bad as Wing.
Yep.
Yeah.
The animation is just...
It hasn't aged well.
It's like watching a Flash animation.
Yeah.
At times, it looks really bad.
Well, it was created when they started to transition to digital art.
I mean, yeah, that's true, but I've seen digitally animated anime that looked better than Seed around that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
The character designs... Wait, what character designs? It's like it's the same fucking face for like 60% of the cast.
Okay, let me rephrase my statement from earlier. I meant the mobile suit designs.
Mobile suit designs for the show are fine. Some are better than others.
Yeah.
I think the funny thing about the character design for that show and whatnot, it's like, were they trying to be Clamp? I feel like they were trying to be Clamp.
They might have been trying to be. Actually, I think that's around the time where they hired on some Clamp employees.
That could have been. I mean, I've seen like the designs for a lot of the Clamp shows and whatnot, but I have seen like kind of slight progression and there's differences to the designs. They use similar character models and whatnot. I know that, but I do see like from the two that I can think of that I've watched the most of, it's like you have. Well, I've seen 3. I've seen Tsubasa, The Reservoir Chronicles, Fruits Basket, and Code Geass, and all seem to at least have slightly different aesthetic choices. Though character design is similar, but they do feel like they're at least different enough so that I can say like, okay, yeah, I could tell this character apart enough from that character.
Yeah, to quote the famous Travis Touchdown, Boe.
But Seed, where do I begin?
Like, see, Kira, he was actually shockingly all right in the beginning, but he just went down that downward spiral. After the battle with the agents,
he lost his shit. Yeah.
Well, I actually had a detestment for most of the characters. From very
this is a Mary Sue. Kigali is a giant crybaby. More so in Sea Destiny than here.
I think we can all agree though the worst character, Flay.
I actually like her because she's interesting. It's interesting to see how she became such a racist bitch.
Okay, fair enough. Then we can all agree that she's the biggest bitch of the series.
Yeah, she's the bitch, and I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty satisfying what happened to her at the end.
Yeah,
oh, yes. You know what? You can say spoilers. The show's been out for how long now?
Rao is my man. That dude is awesome for evaporating her escape pod.
Yep.
Yes.
I liked Rao the Crusader.
I don't know how the fuck. I don't know how the fuck Kira has sympathy for a bitch like her, but. I bet I heard that
we know exactly what caused
that manipulated him to having fucking
unhealthy relationship, Kira.
The first time we almost see on-screen sex in a Gundam show. What the fuck?
The one thing that I really didn't like how they really bumped up the dramatic behavior for the show way too much for my liking. With the unbridled amount of crying that was happening. Even in the first one, it's like, how many scenes of crying? I know my first exposure to it was the movie version, but still, it's like, okay, how I could you could either make a drinking game out of this for the movie version.
You will die of alcohol poisoning. Don't do it.
Or I have to count how many intervals there are where there isn't crying. And it's like, that would be a task that might be hilarious. It's just like a compilation of how many times the characters cry. I'm like, yeah, okay, guys, I get it. You're upset. You're sad.
It's another thing. Like, not like half the cast feels like a clone of Amuro Ray.
Yep.
Like, they all cry. They're all angsty. They're all annoying.
Well, I said they upped up the drama factor.
Yeah, and I know exactly why they did that.
That's the thing. The drama is just so oversaturated in this show.
Well,
it gets degrading.
Yeah, it's melodramatic for the sake of being melodramatic and nothing else.
I don't think. I mean, I understand Fukuda is a big fan of Tomino's work, but didn't really get what made what Tomino's writing, why it's so good. At least for his older works.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean, I've had more emotional investment with like the ending of the first season of Gundam Double O. It's like you want to bump up the tension, the drama, and make people sad. You got me. I was invested there. Yeah. That end, banger.
Okay. Hold on. I want to get a thought out before it blows up in my head.
Go right ahead.
I tried to say it about 3 times.
Go ahead.
But the whole thing with drama being blown up in Seed, I agree. That is definitely the case. But I also look back at the time that it came out, and that was pretty much every show at that time.
The Young and the Restless.
It was essentially every show during that time.
Gundam, the Young and the Restless.
So it was just, you couldn't escape it back then. Back then, being dark and brooding and having soul pain was cool, and now it's a thing of everyone just sees it as edgelord, and people see, and it's overblown back then. But at the time, it was a thing of it's what we were expecting, so it's what we got. So, by expecting, I mean by in comparison to other TV shows on at the time. That's what I mean.
I don't know. The thing with its over dramatic tone and whatnot, I could accept the Gundam show being more dramatic, and maybe even more overly dramatic. But I can't take the characters seriously when they all look like babies crying.
I agree.
I can't take them seriously. It's like Amuro had genuine pain.
Yeah, because
when bad shit happened.
Like I didn't sign up for this shit. Why make me go into Gundam? You freaking piece of shit.
You assholes! Like I want to have a life. But with
the life's the Gundam now. Get in it.
Yeah, get in the damn robot, Amuro.
Yeah.
But the overreactions to like all these horrible things happening to the characters in Seed, it's like it happens way too frequently for me to give a shit. Yeah. I'm like, and here's the funny thing. I can be very emotional and invested in a show, and when characters cry, sometimes I cry along with them. With them, I either laugh at them or I'm telling them, okay, shut the hell up. I'm sick of your bitching. That's how bad it is. It's like, if you can't get me to get emotionally invested enough to make me go, oh, okay, I feel bad for you. When I'm like, no, I don't feel bad for you. Shut up. You're crying too much.
Yeah, I understand. I was just saying that the whole reason that was over dramatic is because at the time that's what all TV shows were doing. That's all I was saying.
That it could be just part of the trend, but that might be also the reason why the shows has not aged well. On top of it, it's just like it's overly dramatic, and that's not what people are looking for anymore.
Yep.
At least most people probably are not looking for that. But surprisingly, though, in Japan, it's still one of their most highly popular Gundam shows, which I will never understand.
I think it's because it does have that good versus evil thing going on with it, which I feel is weird. I always will feel is weird. But sometimes people just want a solid good versus evil story, and people who like mecha, normally they don't get that. So that might be part of it.
It was for the normies.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what. And I know Trip is in chat. Hi, Trip. How you doing,
Hello,
buddy?
Trip.
Does anyone
Japan doesn't understand Japan.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think anybody understands Japan. Not even Japan.
I mean, when you're living on an irradiated island country for thousands of years, isolated from the rest of the world, you're gonna come up with some crazy stuff, and you're not even gonna understand yourself.
I think that with Gundam Seed Destiny, oh boy, I've shared my feelings on that so many times. It's like, do I want to beat this dead horse? Do I want to beat this dead horse further? Do I really?
I think we can summarize it like this, Wolf. Seed Destiny, mobile suit designs are cool. The rest is shit.
No, it's shit overall.
Okay.
There's all
Sans the Destiny Gundam itself. Sans the Destiny Gundam itself. The other mobile suit designs are all right.
Some of them are okay. I actually didn't. The only suit design that I liked from Seed Destiny is the Infinite Justice. All the other ones are that and the Impulse. That's pretty much it. All the other ones I don't like. I don't really care for the Legend. I don't care for the Savior or any of the variants for the Zaku's, Goofs, and Doms that they made, which were straight ripoffs. I'm like, you took away the Jins. I would have preferred modifications and updates to the Jin because I like the Jin. It looks good.
And a broadsword, that was always awesome.
Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't just the broadsword. It was just that overall, the Jin had it's like obviously an homage to the Zaku, but at least it stands out on its own. What'd you do for Seed Destiny? It's like, oh, just recycle Zaku designs and Goof designs and Doms. And it's like, now you're not even trying. That's not an homage. That's a straight ripoff.
Yeah, we had a whole live stream talking about that whole debacle with Destiny, so...
We talked about that at length.
Yeah.
But the Infinite Justice is the only suit that I would consider buying a model kit for. That's the only one. All the other ones, not so much. Maybe Impulse.
No, I can't think of one other reason why Seed... Well, I know Seed Destiny didn't do well in Japan, but one other reason I can see why Seed Destiny did well in Japan is because a lot of the characters were... Damn.
I've been quiet because I'm about to go on a awesome rant. So,
yes, destroy Destiny. It is your destiny to destroy Destiny.
Okay, so you make a sequel to the show, fine. That might have been the best choice considering how Seed was kind of disappointing.
Yeah,
it's one thing to make a sequel; it's another to just completely and utterly kill anything you had in your little sub-series. So, the start of Seed Destiny was fine. I mean, everybody will agree. Most people will agree that start of Seed Destiny was absolutely all right. Yeah. But then it just took a nosedive. Like, I mean, every single character just took a nosedive. Like, Shin... Like he was kind of cool in the beginning, and I like his douchebag attitude. I mean, he verbally pwned Kigali. I like that. But then the moment Kira kills his girlfriend, he's like, you know what? Fuck everything. I'm gonna become Darth Vader.
Yeah, poor
the chosen one.
He goes from being the protagonist of the series to being an antagonist, and so Jesus Yamato comes in, becomes Mr. Superman for the rest of the series. Then you get fucking Atherin, who's like same song and dance from the first Seed. You know,
and that makes me sad.
He rejoins Zaft because maybe Zaft is better. Realize they're still
bad decision.
Like, all right, I'm jumping ship again, and then he fights them once again. It's like it's the same freaking song and dance from Seed. Kigali is absolutely useless for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Lacus is even 10 times worse. I don't know how you were able to make a Mary Sue 10 times worse. Luna Maria was useless. Who else was useless? Honestly, most of the Minerva cast are pretty fucking useless.
Should we talk about the Shark clone?
Neo was awful. Neo Roanoke. He's right up there with one of the worst Shark clones, alongside that one douchebag from Age. Trying to remember his name right now. Zahar. Yeah, Zahar. So let me get this straight. Mu LaFlaga survives a fucking cannon blast. He comes out of it with a fucking scar.
That's worse. That's some of the worst shit. It's almost as bad as
That's like Cloud from Advent Children taking a shotgun to the face and just having a scar.
Yeah, or the same as like Kira surviving a nuclear blast. It's the same shit. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, or Hero being point blank and just getting away with a scratch.
Yeah, that too, with him self-destructing.
And instead of reprehending him for all of the horror he's caused, he's pretty much the whole reason why Shin went batshit insane, because of Stella. He just becomes a good guy again. We're just gonna give him the Akatsuki and just let him rejoin the Archangel crew.
G Shadow, could you please say Stella again, but in that old-fashioned movie, just Stella?
Stella.
Stella. Like,
I'm gonna.
fuck Nero. No, one of the worst shark clones of all time.
It's just a bad idea. I would have liked it better if he was a clone.
I mean, Ray. Let's see, Ray. Boring ass character. Basically, there to be like, it's the guy who looks like Rollick per se. Durandal. He had a good idea, kinda. It's just a shame. I mean, but it's just a shame that his evil scheme is poorly planned out because
it shows up at the last minute.
Let's just do that at the last minute. You are only allowed to do the thing you're good at for the rest of your life. It's like, okay, everybody, does that make a happier world? Like, that's not much of an evil scheme. I mean, it's pretty unethical though, because what if the best thing you're good at is like porn or something? Like, do you really want a woman to have to sell herself for her entire life? That's horrible.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's a really dumbass plan. It was just thrown out there just for no fucking reason, or just to have it there. Shin goes along with for some fucking reason.
You see, this is why I say Shin is the worst.
He is definitely the biggest idiot. That I won't deny. He is a goddamn idiot.
Yeah, he's an idiot. He's a brat, and he's annoying as all hell.
I could have lived with him having the personality trait of being a douchebag and being childish. What I cannot accept is him being that goddamn stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you that goddamn stupid, kid?
Yeah.
Did your parents drop you on your head?
No, like they dropped him in an explosion.
Apparently. Oh. Yeah. Neo Roanoke was a terrible idea and a terrible leader. It's like, we're going to trigger their trap. Wait, what? It's like, isn't the whole point to avoid the booby trap? Not fall into it?
Well, when the booby is so good, you gotta go for the trap.
Some military genius you are. It's like, who hired you to do this job?
Oh my god.
Although I do like it making fun of the fact that,
Maru is still incompetent as fuck. The only reason why she's the only reason one would probably like her is for her boobies, and that's about it. What else? What else was dumb about Sea Destiny? Zeta Gundam, Zeta ripoffs up the ass. I mean, let's think about this for a moment. Shin meets Stella. Stella is this very unstable girl, much like 4, and she ends up piloting a giant Gundam, like 4. And her death is very similar to 4.
Coincidence?
Because Kira ends up killing her, Jared ends up killing 4. The only difference is that Camille got over it, while Shin's like, fuck everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like Camille, this is why I love Camille so much, because he doesn't hold grudges. He just because he understands what war is. Shin doesn't.
Yeah.
And Shin has got. Let's talk about Shin for a moment. This man has got to be one of the dumbest anime protagonists. Well,
be careful
one of the
what you
dumbest
say.
characters I've ever seen. Okay,
because there could be others. A long list.
So at the beginning of the series, his parents die from a collision between the Calamity and the Freedom.
Yep.
He looks at the Freedom with anger.
Makes sense.
It makes sense that he would blame Kira, right? He would blame the Freedom pilot, right?
Yep.
No, he blames fucking Orb. No, it's definitely the Asa's fault for even though the Orb didn't want anything to do with Zeph and the Earth Alliance's war.
Yeah.
But it's their fault because they didn't protect my family.
Yep.
Like, bro, like how? Like,
Let us count the ways that Shin is a retard.
You don't have enough numbers in the world.
Then you move on from, and then you start falling in love with Stella. She ends up dying. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna kill that Freedom pilot.
Wait. Let's back up a bit. Not because remember, he had Stella and he gave her back.
Yeah,
to
he
the
gave
enemy. That's the part. Let's rewind that. And he tells Neo Roanoke not to put her in a mobile suit again. Don't let her fight again. What does he do? He hands it to
put him in a mobile armor.
It's like, well,
technically, I got a loophole. I didn't break my promise. Yeah, I didn't break my promise, motherfucker. You should be mad at Neo, not fucking Kira.
Yeah. That's definitely the funniest part. It's like that.
You should know better because the enemy is never going to fucking keep their word.
Why would you trust the enemy?
It's like Kyo expecting the Vegans to just be peaceful after their mobile suits get destroyed. No, they're gonna come back and get another one and they try to kill you, you motherfucker, you dumbass, so shit.
It reminds me of the scene from Jason X where it was the thing of that movie's horrible too, by the way, where he goes, "It's okay, guys. He just wanted his machete back."
Yeah,
that's not gonna bite him in the butt half a second later.
Yeah. He just wanted the machete back. No big deal. No worries. You want to know what I think would be rather fun to do? And this was something that me and my brother have considered doing before, is abridging that whole entire series and making even better jokes. And the one thing that would be really fun to do would be to completely fix all of its problems with some of its characters. But I don't know how to do that exactly. I would need someone who is the one thing I would desperately need is an editor to help with that, because I have no idea what I would be doing if I were to try and attempt to edit an abridged series. Me and my brother could probably work through doing script work, but it would be a pain in the ass to do the editing part.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I had an idea for Kira of actually making him a lot kind of similar to what they did to like Kirito for their abridge.
Gary.
I don't. At least the one version that they did for Kirito for an abridge where he's just a genuine asshole. And he doesn't hide it. It's because that was one of the best parts about, or the worst part about Kirito in Sword Art Online, is that he's not an asshole. Although obviously he should be the asshole. He should be the dick.
Yeah.
The dickish asshole who's like, I'm just better than all of you. Fuck you.
I'm not even done. I haven't even got to the mech designs yet because they're.
Boy.
Yeah, though on that note, though, I actually do have to go. My throat is absolutely killing me. Though I will keep an eye on the stream. So,
all right, take care.
Yeah,
but get back to what I was about to say.
Yeah.
All right, so instead of coming up with new suits for Zaft, you decide to take designs from Universal Century, rehash them. No, but I want to go even further. Rehash them, and then you just put in the show. No logical reason behind it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Is it because it was the 20th anniversary at the time? You wanted to be cool by bringing in mobile suits that'll get that nostalgia boner going? Was that the idea? Because let me tell you, it nothing tells me more about the lack of ideas than recycling mobile suits.
Mm-hmm.
You should have went with more original designs, like the Bobby. I think that's what it was called, or like a modified Jin, something.
Yeah. Modifying the Jins.
Don't try and appeal to the old. Don't try and.
What was the name of those mobile suits that looked like wolves or tigers?
The Bakus, I think.
The Bakus. Redesigns of the Bakus would be nice to have seen. I mean, you did do that with the Gaia Gundam, but
no. Well, you decided to make a love child of the Zaku and the Zeta Gundam. That's a great idea. And you just plaster that design all over the show.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's not all. Let's talk about the Gundams. Like the Impulse is basically the Strike, except it has more stuff and it has different colors. Whoopee. Yeah. Let's see.
It's the least offensive out of all of them.
The three main Gundams. Strike Freedom and Infinite Justice are basically almost exactly like their originals, except they have different coloring and they have a little bit different gimmicks.
Yeah,
I think
they're
the Infinite Justice is the best one out of all of them.
Yeah,
and that's only because the Strike Freedom is just basically the same beam, same shit as before. Infinite Justice actually has some interesting, cool gimmicks. I like the knee beams it has.
Yeah.
Destiny Gundam is easily the worst offender though, because there's literally nothing original about it, and it's supposed to be the main Gundam of the show.
Yep.
So you got you got the After Missions of Infinity one. You got the utility of the Strike Gundam. You got the Wings of Light from the V2, with the effect that's similar to the freaking Turn A Gundam.
Mm-hmm.
Really shit design. Oh, yeah, and Shin Finger. I forgot about that. And for some reason, you use your beam hands like the fucking Shining Finger from G Gundam, because Fukuda's apparently a fan of that series as well. But it looks absolutely pathetic, and it's really stupid.
And it doesn't work.
Doesn't work, no.
Although the show shows it working, and until the Infinite Justice shows him, no. Just no. That was actually the part of the my favorite part was watching Atherin kick the shit out of the Destiny. I'm like, yes, this is what I wanted. Screw the mobile suit. And also he tries to do Shin Finger to block the sword, doesn't work, and gets wrecked. I'm like, thank you for finally someone realizing, oh, wait, that's not how it's supposed to work.
And no, him crying in Luna Maria's tits does not solve all of his issues at the end of the show. That's just him just being and realizing he was a fucking idiot.
Yep. Too little, too late, Shin.
Too little, too late, though. It was too little, too late.
Yep.
Like, you realize your mistake way too late. I don't care about you anymore. You're a dick.
Yep. I feel bad for Atherin. He's my favorite character from Seed, or at least one of them. And yeah, he got railroaded in Destiny. It's like, I liked him. Why did you do this to him? You assholes. Why do I have to repeat? He went through Groundhog's Day. He literally went through Groundhog's Day, just with different characters. And that depressed me. And it makes people pray and wish that Relic Crusade probably didn't die in Gundam Seed, and he was still around for the second half. I wish he was.
At least we got Stargazer and Astray out of this.
True. Stargazer is good, and I like the suit designs for Stargazer. I like those. Well, for the most part. I don't like the Buster Gundam's variant very much.
Verde. The
Verde?
Buster Verde, I think it's called.
I don't like the head. The head is weird looking.
I at least heard it was the Blue Duel because it got like 20 seconds of screen time.
I wish he got more time.
Before getting wasted by a bunch of Bakus.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because I like the duel mainly because it's simple. It's not overly flashy. I like when it comes to suit design, sometimes I prefer simplified over overly designing and trying way too hard. Because it's like, I could see this mobile suit could have been the Strike Gundam, basically. This could have been like the opening. This could have been like the first prototype of the Earth Alliance's mobile suits. That and the Strike, because they both serve similar purposes.
Oh, God.
I like the Blitz Gundam, though.
I like it, too.
It looks good.
Shame it got destroyed so quickly. Well, not really quickly. Saying it got destroyed halfway.
Yeah, Blitz and Buster look good. I don't really care for the Aegis, though. I didn't really like that one.
I thought it was an interesting design.
It's interesting.
Was pretty cool.
It's interesting that it turns into a claw thingy.
It was probably a claw thing for the sole purpose of that one scene.
Yeah.
I really like the Strike. I like its gimmick. I like the gimmick of switching backpacks during battles depending on a combat situation. I like that idea. I wished more Gundam series did that. Jericho did that, and I actually think that one executed it a bit better.
I don't know about that. I only watched about 5 episodes of that, and I got tired of it. Once you start introducing toilets into Gundams, I'm out.
Someone was gonna tell me no.
Yeah, I was already lost before. When you did that, it's like, nope, I'm tapping out of this. I'll see you later. Come back, Tomino, when maybe you don't do stuff like that. I love you and also hate you at the same time because you make me have to now question if other mobile suits have toilets in them. God damn it. As far as I know, no.
So, you've seen Double O, right?
Yes.
We already talked about it. So let's move on to age.
I could talk more about Gundam Double O because my favorite thing about that actually is the shark clone. I like Graham.
Yeah.
I don't like him in season 2 because he becomes
Bushido.
Although I do, the mask is kind of cool. I just don't like his personality. He went from he's just not the same character that I liked because it's like I liked his personality in the first half because he's that joke with him and his friend saying like I think he's in love with the Gundam. Basically saying like he's in love, he has the heart on for the machine itself, not the pilot or anything. He's like he just loves the Gundam itself. And I liked that. I liked his personality. He's like, I just want to play with you. I want to have fun. This is entertaining for me. And eventually he goes from this is fun and entertaining to I'm going to wreck your shit. He literally went, what is it? He went full-blown yandere, which I thought was kind of funny. And also, I love the dedication that he had. It's like, you know what? I'm a flag pilot. I'm gonna beat the Gundam with a flag. It's like, are you sure, sir? You sure you don't want one of these more highly updated mobile suits? He's like, no. I want you to put a pseudo GN drive in a flag. I'm gonna pilot that thing. I'm gonna wreck shit. I was like, the man is dedicated. Yeah, gotta give him credit for dedication. And also, I liked his final flag. I liked that. That was a cool modified flag.
And then you go from that to Mr. Bushido, and it's like, what the fuck did they do to you? Like, literally, that's like the worst gimmick. That's like one of the worst gimmicks in Gundam history because he barely did anything.
Yeah.
All he really cared about was just, I want to fight Setsuna. I want to fight him. I want to fight him. I want to fight him. I want to
beat him the first time. Why do you need to do it again?
I want to beat a Gundam. I want to do it. I want to actually beat it without my mobile suit being destroyed as well. He was so useless. He was so pointless. Like he had so little effect in season 2. It was astounding.
Yeah, I noticed that like for Awakening of the Trailblazer, they did kind of bring him back to his more.
He's a lot better. He's 10 times better in Awakening Trailblazer. I will give them that.
It's like maybe it was the mask. Maybe it was constricting his blood flow to his hand.
That was actually the problem I had with season 2 as a whole. Like some characters just feel like afterthoughts. Like Aliel Sanchez, that he was my favorite villain in the show, and in season 2, it's like he barely did anything besides being underling for ribbons.
Yep.
Like that was the only thing about Aliel. He just basically became an afterthought. Like, how would you make the coolest villain from season 1 an afterthought? That's astounding.
Yeah, it is. I like Sanchez was a cool villain too. Very interesting antagonist for Setsuna to fight.
The Trinities were interesting, I guess. I don't know why they decided to. I don't know why the fuck they decided to let Nina live for God knows how long. I understand it's probably because she wanted to they wanted some kind of fan service and she provides it, I guess.
I didn't. The one thing that was really a disappointing cop out was bringing in Lock-On's twin brother.
He looks exactly like him.
Yeah, he's just identical. I'm like, couldn't you have done something to make him different? Look, I get it. Lock-On is a popular character. I liked Lock-On. don't get me wrong, but I don't know, give him a different haircut or something. I don't mind if he has a similar face because as a twin brother, it would, make sense, but he just is a dead ringer. So much so it's like that even everybody else thinks it's the same guy. It's like you might as well have not killed the Lock-On the first time. And it's like you just wasted a character's death just to bring him back. God damn it. I do like I think the only characters that I liked for season 2 was Setsuna, because Setsuna actually did kind of develop as a character a bit more. Alleluia was interesting still, and his split personality was gone, which I don't know how that happened exactly, but it happened. I don't know. Maybe it was because he hit his head at the end of season 1. I don't know. But he was actually far more mopey and depressing. I was like, where's my lovable psychopath? I kind of miss him now. But I did think it was kind of cute with him and his relationship. Oh, what is the girl's name? Oh, God. She was part of that super soldier program like he was, but I can't remember her name.
It's slipping off my tongue right now. I know what you're talking about, though. White-haired girl.
Yeah, who was working with the Russian group.
Yeah, Human Reform League, I think.
Yeah, the Human Reformation League. Yeah, I like that they tried to make a relationship with those two. It was cute. Nice attempt, anyway. I can barely remember any of it, but they tried.
Soma, that was her name.
Soma Pyrrhus, yeah.
That was her name. There we
go. I think the character that who made the most logical sense was their combat forecaster for Celestial Being, and I always forget her name. God damn it! But she made the most sense for a character. She's like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's like, I'm done. I'm going to go. I don't want to be here. For the longest time, it's like, you know what? I understand why, considering that what happened at the end of season 1 totally makes sense. I wouldn't blame her for not wanting to be here. For the most part, yeah, Gundam Double O. We didn't really talk about the suit designs for Gundam Double O, did we?
No, I love them.
Yeah, I
love most of them.
I love most of them too.
Except Double Riser. Double Riser just felt like, oh god, it's Freedom Gundam all over again.
Yeah, it's not really very good. The Double O Riser is not. I mean, it feels like an update to the Exia, but at the same time, it feels really lazy. It's kind of just a remodel of the Exia with a backpack and twin GN drives. Not really the best design choice. Cheridum is good.
Yeah.
The Arios is okay. I prefer Kyrios because I just like its look better.
Cerevi
is good. Of course, so was Virtue. So.
And the Seraphim form. Gundam was pretty cool. I like that nod. I like that homage to the first Gundam.
Yes, that was cool. That was good. I didn't really like any of the antagonist suits for season 2. Didn't really care for any of them.
No, I didn't either. Ribbons was just too one-dimensional. I mean, yeah, he's voiced by Amuro's voice actor in Japanese, but
yeah.
That's actually pretty funny because that's his English voice is Brad Swale.
Yeah.
And they both voiced Amuro.
Yeah. I think I liked the Reborn's Gundam.
I like it too. I mean, it had short screen time, but I liked it for what it was.
Yeah. Ribbons as a character, not so much.
Ribbons one-dimensional. Most of them are one-dimensional.
Yeah. But I think that considering that Gundam Double O is kind of like just a retry of the similar ideas that they did for Gundam Wing, I just think it's an overall better Gundam Wing. At least that's me personally. I just think they took a lot of the ideas that Wing had and just made a better version of Wing.
We had to put a little bit more character into their characters.
Yeah.
And
bit more. They tried a lot.
They're not big on the overkill formula.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the thing about Wing and Seed and a lot of the Gundams. A lot of, like, Wing and Seed particularly had this thing where the Gundams are damn near invincible and all the grunt suits are like paper mache.
Yeah.
And it was at its all-time worst in Seed Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
It was just really bad. Double O wasn't as obnoxious with it, but it's still there.
Yeah, but it's not as bad.
Not
and
as
I mean,
until the Riser came in.
Yeah, I mean, with the fact that the Exia got its ass kicked by a Union flag that was modified, kind of shows that yeah, they weren't invincible. They can get the shit kicked out of them if enough time and effort is put into it. You know. Okay, you wanted to talk about Gundam Age, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to assume you haven't seen that one yet.
I've seen the first part. And a few episodes of the second half. I didn't.
Okay, so I'm not gonna really talk about much then because I don't want to spoil. But all I'm gonna say is Gundam Age had a really awesome idea that was sadly executed poorly.
Yeah,
and that's mainly because the pacing was just really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is a reason why the pacing was so shit, and that was because the director once directed video games for Level 5, and he had no idea how to direct anime.
Yeah.
And
that's why
that was a really big problem.
That's why I kind of give, because people were talking about how bad Age was, and I watched the first half. I'm like, I can kind of see where they're coming from, but I don't see this nearly as offensively or as irritating as like Seed or Destiny, because I don't hate the characters as much.
No.
Thank God. Suit designs are unique in a lot of ways, especially for the enemies. And I don't know, it didn't offend me or irritate me as much, but the pacing problem that it had would definitely be a problem. It's like you tried to jam 3 subsequent, generations of characters into one show. That was bound to have problems. I appreciate the attempt, but yeah, no, that wasn't gonna work. But anyway, you were saying?
So, started off interesting. First part was pretty interesting. Second part was okay. Third part,
yeah. I heard that the third part was the worst.
It was bad. I mean, so many characters were underdeveloped. So many just awful choices. Kyo was an annoying protagonist. He was really stupid.
Yeah. I know. He was bordering on Kira levels of stupidity.
Yeah, it was borderline Kira because literally, he tried to spare them by disabling their mobile suits. And to his credit, it makes much more sense than when Kira does it.
Yeah.
But it's still retarded because the Vegans don't give 2 shits if you spare them. They'll just come back and try to kill you again.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand he's 13, but by that point of the show, you should fucking know better. Uso grew up faster than you, and he was the same fucking age.
Yeah. True. Very, very true.
I like Foot, though. Foot was an awesome character all the way through to the end.
Yeah.
Asamu was interesting from the start, but his reasons for becoming what he became made no goddamn sense in Gen 3.
I was trying to remember the kid from Generation 2.
That's Asamu. Asamu Asuno, that's his name.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like.
Of course, got the second worst shark one of all time in Zahart Gullet. I'm not gonna explain why he's the worst. You're better off. People here are better off probably taking skimps of the show to understand why I despise that. Why I think he's an annoying character.
Yeah.
And the main villain's evil scheme was almost as bad as Durando. It was almost as retarded.
The one thing though that like I said earlier about Age that I did like is I like the suit designs. Oh, what was that one? What is his name? His name is Wolf, isn't it? Or was his name something else? He's the one who pilots the white mobile suit all the time. What is his name? Now it's gonna bug me.
Wolf, I think his name is.
Yeah, or at least that's his last name.
Yeah,
I like him.
yeah, he was awesome. He was probably one of my favorite characters in the show.
Yeah, I
really love the G bouncer.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite designs from the show too.
Mega Mobile suits are interesting. I don't like Gundam Legilis. It looks awkward. Have that classic color scheme on an alien-looking Gundam.
Yeah.
The red one that we get in the movie version wasn't much better, by the way.
I wouldn't know anything about that. I don't really know which suit you're referring to.
Gundam it's in Gen 3.
Oh yeah.
Gundam Legilis, I think it's called.
I think I've seen that, probably. Yeah, I think I have seen it. I haven't seen the red variant that you're referring to, but
it's basically the arc. It's got the color scheme of the Arc 78, except it has the Vegan visor, I like to call it.
Oh yeah. It had that kind of Vegan-esque head.
Yeah. It could actually open up into the twin eyes that we all know and love. I actually prefer it like that because I'm not big on the Vegan visor.
Yeah. I don't really have much else to add for Age.
All I gotta say is it's not a very good show. Not really good.
Well, the one thing is like for me when it comes to Gundam shows and whatnot, it's very rare that I don't finish them. The only one that I haven't finished was G-Rico. That's the only one. Well, aside from ones that I still haven't seen.
Now, I know a lot of people bet G-Rico. I actually didn't think it was absolutely horrendous, but it did have problems.
Yeah. I mean, nothing is perfect. Even some of the best Gundam shows that I love, I know are not perfect. So that's completely understandable. I don't know. That was the one where it's like I wanted to try. I tried when it first came out. I tried to watch it, but it was on at the same time as Build Fighters Try, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It's like my attention is divided. I watched the first couple episodes. I can't follow a damn thing that's happening in Rico. I'm like, we're going from one to the next. I'm like, what the hell's happening? Show you're giving me whiplash. What is happening? Because I don't even know what's going on half the time. It's like I want to know more about these characters and whatnot. And after 2 episodes of the show, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch. I'm gonna watch Build Fighters Try. Okay, I don't have time for this shit. I want to focus on Try, and maybe I'll come back to G-Rico later. I went back to G-Rico, watched about 4 or 5 episodes. I'm like, this didn't get any better. Toilets. Once you get to the point where you're literally showing me a toilet, I'm kind of out of it. I'm like, I'm lost. And I mean, I was
weirded out by that too, but I still kept going.
Well, yeah. I mean, the part that I was trying to understand is like, what is the plot? What is the point? Why are we fighting? What are we fighting for? As Zero would say. And then it's like energy crisis. Okay. I guess that kind of would make sense. But it took you almost 4 episodes to get to that. Or was it 3? I can't remember. That's how little I remember. But it's like, it took you that long to get to that? It's like, there's a certain thing called pace. I'd like to know the reason why this is happening.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think it was bad, but it did have problems. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and and completely kissed the ass of it because it had problems.
Yeah, I was trying to. It's just like I'm trying to understand it. That was the biggest problem for me. Is like the hurdle of jumping is trying to understand why things are happening. It's like if you can't invest me with the characters, at least invest me in the reason why it's happening. At least try to do that, because otherwise, considering, well, I mean, we were mentioning it, but I think we mentioned it before stream, but the fact that it only got 25 episodes and it was clearly designed for a much longer run definitely did not help. It killed
this shit. The
pace.
fact this shit was shorter than Gundam X. That was the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, I think that if Tomino was given, more episodes to work with, I'd be okay with it. Is somebody here? Oh, Mr. E is here. Hey, Mr. E.
Hello?
Hi. You're late, but welcome to the party.
Yeah, I know. I was with my family. I haven't seen them in a couple of months.
Oh, no, it's fine, man.
You're fine, man.
Well, welcome to the Gundam stream.
And nice to be here. So, what part of Gundam are you talking about right now?
Right now, we're talking about Jirico.
Yeah.
Talking about what?
We're talking about Jirico. It's one where the Gundam does the praise the sun pose.
I don't think I know that one.
That was what was their anniversary? Was that their 30th anniversary?
35th.
Their 35th anniversary.
Yeah.
So, that was directed by the original creator.
Yeah, Tomino.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people liked it.
And probably not a lot of people even know what it was.
Because it was only 25 episodes. Yeah. So we actually skipped past the build stuff. So I guess I'll start off with the OVA to start off. Gundam 12 Builders beginning G.
Well, how about we let Mr. E do some talking? So there's some echo and whatnot. What's happening, man?
Not much. I'm back home for Thanksgiving, and recently I actually started rewatching the original Gundam series, and this was after I had caught up on Gundam Thunderbolt. And I gotta say, the original Gundam series, it can be a bit cheesy at times, but it's still a lot of fun.
It's a really good show. It's still a great show after all these years. The animation did not hold up well.
Well, yeah, when it's from the
90s. Was that the 70s?
Yeah, it's from the 70s. So obviously it's not going to hold up by today's standards. That's why we have Origin.
Yeah.
It's so enjoyable you can actually look past the animation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I always focus on. It's like, is the story and characters good enough to overcome its really old animation? And in this case, yes.
I gotta say,
yeah.
I gotta say, one of my favorite characters has got to be the Char in his original incarnation.
I think that's an easy one because everybody loves Char.
Yep. I love Char.
It's really easy to like Char because he's just such a damn good anti-hero.
When he betrays Garma, like a guy that was genuinely his friend, and he just betrays him, not because of anything Garma did, but because of the
because you're part of a family. You're part of a family. My father, so you should die.
Yeah, it's all like he's like, don't blame me for this. Blame this on your family. Basically, it's like, blame this on your heritage.
I appreciate the friendship you've given me, but now you have to die.
He saw it. That's the thing, is that Char is an opportunist when it comes to taking out the zombie family. He's going to take he waited so long to take them out. And then the opportunity finally arrives to take out one of them, and he takes it, and he doesn't even hesitate.
This is the one he was closest to, too.
Yeah, he did not hesitate. That's basic. Like you said, it's his friend, and he treated him better than any of the others that he has resentment towards. And Yeah, he still didn't hesitate to let him die. And even telling bold-faced lies, it's like, just give him an excuse for why my mobile suit couldn't be out there.
You see Char in his first fight against Amuro in episode 2, and he's just like, you see why he earned the nickname Red Comet. He is outmaneuvering him all over the place. And it really makes you think, how powerful would Char be if he got the Gundam? Like, how fast would the 1-year war have ended?
Very quickly. Giving Char any type of mobile suit could potentially end a war if you give him the right one.
He was destroying people in the Hyaku's Shiki.
Yeah. He was highly effective in it, considering it is a prototype that eventually was designed into a Gundam itself. Yeah. If it wasn't a prototype, he probably would have been even more overpowered. But both that one and the Zeta were both prototypes.
The original Zeta?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zeta was actually because it was actually designed by Camille himself.
Yeah. It was still a prototype.
Yeah, it was still a prototype, and yeah, it was by far the most powerful machine in that war, next to the Yo and Cuboy, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta say, I like the design of the Zeta far more than the Double Zeta.
Well, that's the thing. Double Zeta is the thing about it is it's more in line to a super robot because it's made out of 3 compartments. It's got large ass beam sabers. It's got a double beam rifle. It's got a cannon stored in the head.
Yeah.
It's meant to be more wacky, and the reason why it was wackier is because Tomio wanted Double Zeta to be more fun and goofy because Zeta was so depressing.
Yeah.
Especially the end of it, like you watch the protagonist gets technically lobotomized. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Camille did get lobotomized after killing Shirako. But they always say don't watch the movie compilation for Zeta because then it makes Double Zeta null and void.
Zeta
because they give it the happy ending.
The thing about Zeta trilogy, I actually would not recommend it for the sole fact. When you decide to take new animation and mix it with the old animation, you are an instant shit trilogy to me. I think that's more insulting than Seed Destiny because it's not just stock footage from like 2 years ago. We're talking about here. We're talking about stock footage from almost 20 years ago.
Oh my god!
And you're putting that over this gorgeous new animation.
You should have just reanimated the whole thing.
Why was this necessary? It wasn't even necessary.
Yeah.
The original Gundam's trilogy was necessary because, Gundam was getting rejuvenated thanks to Bandai creating the Gundam model kits.
Mm-hmm.
So it was necessary to re-release that as a trilogy so people were invested in it. This makes no sense, though. Why would you want to go back and redo something that wasn't broken?
Right.
Also, Double Zeta, I think, had the worst theme song. the original one.
Yeah. It's not it's a catchy song. Yeah.
I actually think both songs in Double Zeta were great.
Yeah.
I like the original Zeta opening.
Yeah. It's a good opening song.
But let me ask you guys a question. What do you think is the top Gundam show in terms of highest body count? Like just the pure number of people that got killed.
Normally I would say it's Victory, but I think a new show just usurped it for body count. But I'm not sure. Okay, G Shadow, you know Victory Gundam better than me. You've actually watched it. How many people die in Victory?
I know the body count's higher than Zeta.
Well, yeah.
I don't know the official one, but I do know it's a shit ton of people.
Well, I mean, like, out of all of the characters who are either side or important characters, how many of them died?
No, I'm talking about, like, just period.
Well,
Let's see. We got the entire strike team. They all died. Chronicle, let's say, dude with the white mask dies. All the old farts on that ship, on that one ship, dies. Uso's friends end up dying. I'm gonna say it's like 50 people,
roughly?
40, no, roughly around 30. No, maybe not 50 people. Like roughly around 20 people.
Okay, that are actually
25 people. Yeah,
that are at least part of the
plot. Yeah,
plot and cast.
Yeah,
that's a pretty high number. I wonder if
Iron-Blooded high number.
The thing is I'm wondering if Iron-Blooded Orphans topped it, but I'm not sure.
It might have. There's a lot of side characters in there that just got slaughtered.
Well, not only that, but it's like for the second season, pretty much everybody dies. That's the problem.
Yeah, there's like a handful that survived.
Nobody survived.
There was some. None of the main ones survived, but like some of the side characters survived.
Those were the only ones. The only ones who survived were the girls.
No, there was a couple. There was a couple of side characters from Tekkadan that were serving as what's her name's bodyguards after the fighting was over.
Oh, wait, yeah.
There are a couple of them still alive.
Yeah, and a couple. Yeah, they're probably if they were to continue Iron-Blooded Orphans, they would have died too, because a couple of them still were choosing to be terrorists. At least one of them.
But I say in terms of pure body count, I'd have to go with Afterward Gundam X, because they open the show with most of the colonies being dropped on the planet.
I don't know, man. I mean, in that case, Turn A may have a high body count as well.
Like, not one colony dropped, like 20.
That is a lot of colony drops.
That is a lot of colony, yeah.
And normally, the colonies have a pretty big, substantial population in them, too. On top of whoever is on Earth when the colony falls.
Also, I love how the original Gundam, it's kind of just, glossed over. Oh yeah, we gassed the entire population of this colony and then we dropped it on the planet. These guys are evil.
They don't really gloss it over in later adaptations and series. They don't gloss over the fact that Zeon really did a really bad number on the colony that they dropped on Australia.
I know, but it's just like in the original show, it's like 2 lines and then it's never mentioned again.
Well, speaking of Australia, I'm just reminded of a scene from Double 80.
Yeah.
So it was when Bernie and the Cyclops Squad, I think that's what they were called. They infiltrated the Federation's secret little, mobile suit factory. And in the dub, Bernie had this Australian accent. He's like, "Yeah, I'm from Australia. It's winter around that time of year." And then the Federation was like, "Wait a minute, a colony was dropped on Australia." And then they came back and discovered they were fakes. And this one guy was like, "Around this time of year, it's summer in Australia." I just realized that when I was rewatching Double 80.
Man, I would not want to live in the Universal Century. But yeah, like the Zeon forces were just like absolute monsters. And there's one episode in the original Gundam where a bunch of like no-name Zeon soldiers like make a plot to destroy the Gundam with a bunch of bombs. I'm like, okay, with how powerful this thing is, it's been shot by like mobile suit sized machine guns. I highly doubt a couple bombs are gonna do it.
I mean, if you get enough bombs, then maybe you can make a dent to the alloy.
Nightwolf just dropped.
What happened? And I'm in my alternate account now. Great. This is freaking fantastic.
Is your real name Duke?
Yes, my real name is Duke. Yes.
Oh, cool.
I mean, some people might already know that because they've seen it. I think I did that once with what was it? I did that a letter to Marvel type video, and I put my name in it. So then at least it's not like just a YouTube tag and whatnot. But yeah, my real name is Duke. Yes. Anyway,
So
what did I miss?
Not much, really. What are you guys' thoughts on SD Gundam?
Are we talking about the gag show from the 90s? Are we talking about SD Gundam Force?
I remember watching Gundam Force. It came on Toonami for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
SD Gundam Force, as far as I can tell, it's just a throwaway little show.
Yeah.
It's technically the longest running Gundam show at 53, 54 episodes. But, it's not, it's a side thing. I don't really care much about it.
I think the only part of that show that I remembered liking was the part with the Zaku's just saying the word Zaku.
My favorite part of the show was the Zaku hour. That was entertaining.
Yeah.
Didn't they do one where they're all feudal warriors?
Yeah.
I think that's Musha Gundam.
Yeah.
Then there's Night Gundam. All of which were originated from SD Gundam.
Yeah. They're cute. They're kind of charming in their own way.
The gag show is the 90s gag show is just
Yeah.
It's there. It's just there to be funny, I guess.
I remember watching at least one episode of the one where they're feudal era mobile suits. That one I do remember watching at least one or two episodes of that, and I thought it was kind of charming, but I don't think about it too much. The only other SD form of thing I want to see is I want to play SD Gundam G Generation Genesis. That's all I want.
Great game, by the way. That's a great game. I recommend it to people.
Yeah. I know. I've seen plenty of gameplay of it, and it's what makes me want it. I just don't have the money to import it.
There's one show that I definitely did not enjoy. It's got to be Gundam Age.
Yep, we talked about Age earlier.
What are you guys' thoughts on it?
It's not great. I only got to see the first half of it and part of the second half, and I thought it was okay. It's just has a massive influx of problems.
One of the things I don't like is that it's really hard to care about the protagonist when you're going to switch generations all the time.
Yeah. It also, G-Shadow already mentioned it, but the problem is that the guy who was the director of the show had never done an anime. He'd only ever done video games.
Which is completely different medium. You can't direct an anime like a video game. It's just that's how it works.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much. It was a problem.
That explains why half the antagonists look like mid-tier boss fights.
Yeah. Probably.
But, what would you put as worst? That or Gundam Seed Destiny?
Seed Destiny still takes the cake of worst Gundam show by a long mile.
Yep.
Because it had a Gary Stu and a Mary Stu, and the main character gets replaced. At least Kyo remained the main character throughout the third gen of Age.
Yep.
I gotta say, I never watched Seed Destiny, probably just because everybody told me it was so terrible. I'm just gonna avoid that one. And to be honest, I didn't like Seed that much, so I wasn't really jumping in to another story in that universe that quickly.
Oh, I got